What happens when even the heavens hesitate, but an angel chooses to move forward? Not all angels carry harps. Not all are clothed in light. Some, like Uriel, walk where not even the seraphim dare to hover. This is not the tale of a gentle messenger, but of a guardian of fire, a watcher of mysteries, and at a certain moment, a sacred transgressor. In the most hidden circles of Jewish tradition, in the forgotten texts of the Ethiopian Bible, in the subtle lines of the Book of Enoch, and in the deep echoes of the Kabbalah, the name Uriel is whispered with reverence and caution. He is the fire of God, the bearer of the light of revelations, and at the same time, the one who looked into the abyss and saw something he was never meant to see. This is the story of the mission the heavens would rather forget. The mission that was not recorded among the glorious deeds of angels, but among the risks, the boundaries, and the consequences. A journey into the place where darkness writhes with the echoes of the primordial rebellion, and a return, not in glory but in silence, marked by something even the archangels do not fully understand. In this video, you will discover why Uriel was sent to a forbidden domain, what he found in the depths of the abyss, and how it forever altered his angelic essence, and perhaps the fate of humanity. Prepare yourself. This is not merely a story. It is a revelation veiled by time, kept within the folds between the visible and the invisible. Long before time bowed to the will of men, before prophets whispered upon the mountains and patriarchs raised altars in the desert, there were silent wars in heaven. Uriel, whose name means the light of God, was not like the other archangels. While Michael wielded the sword of justice and Raphael brought healing to the wounded, Uriel was the bearer of revelation. The angel of flaming intellect, of wisdom that burns like a torch in the darkness of ignorance. He was there when the stars were lit. He heard the cries of the fallen angels as they were cast from the firmament. It is in the pages of the Book of Enoch, an ancient text rejected by many but preserved as sacred in the Ethiopian tradition, that Uriel appears not only as a messenger, but as an agent of judgment that would shake the cosmos. He was sent to confront the Grigori, the watcher angels who broke their celestial pact and united with the daughters of men, birthing the Nephilim, merciless giants who devoured the earth. But that was not his forbidden mission. That would come later. After the imprisonment of the fallen angels, a dilemma arose in the heavens. Their bodies were sealed beneath mountains. Their souls were elsewhere. A place the apocryphal texts call Sheol, the abyss, the realm where pre-Adamic forces whisper corrupted truths and where even light fears to enter. It was then that Uriel was summoned, not by his own will, but by divine command. His mission, to descend into the abyss, not to wage war, not to pass judgment, but to observe, to understand, and perhaps to bring back an answer that not even the celestial thrones could reach. Heaven remained silent. Uriel's name was removed from many writings, and when he returned, he was no longer the same. Imagine a place where even light itself bends, where time is not measured by stars, but by eternal laments. It was to this domain, the abyss beneath the abyss, that Uriel was sent. There, where Sheol merges with the recesses of Tehom, the primordial chaos, dwell prisoners who have no names, only echoes. There, the air carries not the breath of life, but the breath of forgetting. Uriel descended not in glory but in silence. His wings, which once shimmered with the light of 1,000 stars, began to darken under the weight of the mission. For unlike the celestial wars he had known, this battle was against understanding itself. He did not face visible enemies, but ideas, corruptions, distortions, inverted truths, and whispers from those who had fallen before the world. Was the world. Kabbalistic tradition speaks of the cliffoth, the empty shells, shadows that once held light, now twisted. Uriel saw these entities, And more, he heard something that should never have been uttered since the rebellion of Lucifer. An ancient language that not only communicates but shapes reality. A language that wounded the very essence of the angel. The hidden texts suggest that Uriel not only saw the imprisoned Grigori, he saw what the Grigori had seen, the forbidden knowledge they had touched, the secrets of the stars, the names of things before they were made, and when he returned, he brought that with him. But there is a price for looking beyond the veil. The light that once illuminated Uriel began to burn like a silent flame, consuming him from within. He ceased to be merely the messenger. He became the bearer of a cosmic burden, a bridge between heaven and something deeper. The other angels began to look upon him with respect and fear, for there was something in Uriel's eyes that not even Michael dared to face for long, the reflection of an abyss that whispers forgotten names, and perhaps destinies yet to be fulfilled. Uriel's mission is not merely a literal journey into the abyss, but a symbolic descent into the depths of spiritual reality, into that which lies beyond the veil of creation. In ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch, we find a complex cosmology where heaven and hell are not merely physical places, but states of consciousness, levels of revelation and concealment. Uriel's descent, in this context, echoes the archetype of the hero's descent into the underworld. But here, the hero is an angel, and the underworld is not just Sheol, but the source of a knowledge that even the heavens fear. Contact with the Qliphoth, according to Kabbalah, represents the most dangerous spiritual risk, accessing truth stripped of light, knowledge separated from divine wisdom. Uriel, as the bearer of revelation, was forced to confront these distortions and, in a way, to integrate them, not to glorify them, but to understand them through the light he still carried. This marks a transition. Uriel ceases to be an angel of the Word and becomes a guardian of the threshold, a figure who knows both the celestial paths and the dangers of their corruption. This experience altered the very ontology of the angel. He remains light, but a burned light, filtered through the pain of having seen what was never meant to be seen. From that moment on, Uriel becomes what some mystical texts call the angel of the final time, the one who guards the seals of the apocalypse, and whose gaze carries more judgment than comfort. He is not a rebel, but he is the one who knows that heaven is not made only of glory, but also of silence before the incomprehensible. Uriel descended into the abyss as an emissary, and returned as a mystery. In a universe where even angels have limits, he was the only one to cross the line that separates the sacred from the unbearable. And in doing so, he did not rebel, but he never again fully belonged to the choir of heaven. His forbidden mission was not an act of glory, but of sacrifice. He chose to carry a knowledge that would separate him from the others, because someone had to understand what lay beneath the chaos, among the shadows of forgotten worlds. And that is the true nature of Uriel's light, not a light that merely shines, but one that burns, that illuminates the corners, where even God whispers, in a low voice. Perhaps even now he still dwells among the veils, watching over the gates of the unknown. Perhaps it is he who guides the rare few who dare to seek the depths of truth without falling into the pride of those who once fell. Or perhaps he waits in silence for the day he will be called again, not to observe, but to reveal, to open the seals, to show the world what he once saw and what heaven still hesitates to reveal. And you, viewer, are you ready to look beyond the veil? Because there are stories like this one, sealed within forgotten texts, hidden in the margins of Scripture that call to us. Stories that burn with a truth so ancient that only those who walk between the abyss and the light can truly recognize them. If this story stirred something within you, don't ignore it, because when Uriel looks upon the earth, he does. not see mere humanity. He sees futures, choices, and the spark of a destiny yet unfinished.